Alright, so the title of my mini sermon is Don't Eat the King's Meat. I'll be reading from Daniel chapter 1, verses 3 through 5, 8, 12, and 15. And it says, And the king spake unto Aspenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge and understanding, science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat, and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. Verse 8, But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. Verse 12, Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. In verse 15, And at the end of 10 days their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. So I'm going to start with what the king's meat represents. It represents temptation, the devil's tricks, and what the world has to offer. It represents destruction and things that are not of God. To make it a little bit more plain, it represents fornication, temporary gain, homosexuality, things like that, just sin. So if you eat of the king's meat, you are going to be blinded from God's plan and purpose that he has for your life. So involved in the story was Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. They realized that they did not want to defile themselves. They did not want to accept the king's meat because it would be compromising with the world. It was not depending on God's provision. Knowing what God had to offer is better than what the world has to offer. It would be like not accepting God's way and his plan if you were to eat the meat. So some of the things that may happen to you in high school, some temptations that may surround you in high school, maybe, just to make it plain, music temptation, foul language, disobedience to your parents, disrespect to the teachers, like I said before, being bisexual, homosexuality, drugs, having sex before you're married, fornication. So you may be wondering, so how do I stay saved in high school with all of this corruption and all of this sin around me? What should I do? Where should I go? So my answer to that is Psalms 119 and 11. It says, Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. All right? So thy word that have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee, okay? All right, you might be wondering, okay, so how do I make sure that I don't fall under, the devil's tricks and his all of his plans? So we go over to Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 through 13. It says, "Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand." So, like Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they started eating pulse. They started eating vegetables and drinking water. So what you can do is start reading the Word, start praying, start fasting, make a relationship with God, and He'll guide you through. And He'll give you wisdom on how to handle yourself in certain situations in high school. So set aside time in the morning, wake up and pray, read your Word, and then trust me, your day will go much better. And once you start doing these things, like them, their countenance would be fair. You will rise above others. God will make your way straight. He will help you in all life circumstances and hardships. And whatever you do, wherever you go, you will be blessed. You will be successful. So my advice for you today is just push through. Stay safe. Try to get filled with the Holy Ghost. And when you look back and see where you are compared to your peers, and the ones that didn't want to be saved, the ones that didn't want to be righteous, the ones that didn't want to be holy, when you look back and compare yourself, you'll see that you're much farther ahead.